This is me and my friend Cody, and we had a great idea. Let's take hundreds of hours of footage we've shot over the last 2 years and turn it into a feature-length documentary. And so we did. We had little to no budget, it was just us two, but we made it happen. Check out part 1 through 3 for more backstory. But basically, I drove to California, we locked ourselves in Cody's childhood bedroom, we edited for a month straight, and then we still weren't even close to being finished. I want to close out this series really simply. I don't really have the visuals or the B-roll to make this part particularly exciting, so I figured I would just keep it simple and talk about how this project came to completion. Truthfully, this series has felt a little silly to make. In my head, I've been calling it the I'm Making a Movie series. The way I'm framing it, you would think I'm making some big Hollywood film and I'm like living out my lifelong childhood dreams of making a Hollywood movie, and that's just simply not the case. Me and Cody are just two guys making an independent documentary film that's going to live on YouTube. So I don't even know if you could call that a real movie, but to us, we were making a real movie. It's also felt a little bit silly because part 1 through 3 of this 4-part series was shot like 8 months ago. You would think that by part 4 we were almost done, but the truth is those first 3 videos really only showed like 10% of the process. That was the tip of the iceberg. Cody and I spent a month in California, but then we had to part ways and go back to our respective homes. Cody lives in Oregon, I live in Texas, so we're on different sides of the country, and we still had so much ground to cover. We would try to get together as much as we could on FaceTime and just edit this project remotely. And the reality of this part of the process was that it was so painstakingly hard. It was just us two. We had no team, we had no crew. We were getting paid, but not that much. We had other obligations to take care of. It felt like everything was just falling by the wayside. This project was sapping the energy and the soul out of our life because of how much we were giving to it. Oh my God.
Waking up every morning has just been like stress, just immediate stress.
What was supposed to be 2 months ended up being more like 7, and we kept pushing the deadline back of completion, and eventually we just had a hard deadline, like we gotta finish it by this time. The process very much became less about like crafting this beautiful piece of art that would be like our magnum opus and showing our best capabilities. We had to like redirect our focus to, we can't do anything and everything we want to do to this project. We simply don't have the time, money, resources, energy. And so it just became about finishing the damn thing and just trying to cross the finish line, battered and bruised. Me and Cody both love this book, Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. And there's this model in the book, and it's called The Life of a Project. And it goes like this. This is the best idea ever. Okay, this is harder than I thought. This is gonna take some work. This sucks. And it's boring. Dark night of the soul.
I am running away from my responsibilities. Feels good.
Oh, it'll be good to finish because I'll learn something for next time. It's done and it sucks, but it's not as bad as I thought. Yeah, glorious filmmaking. It's funny because, we're two people that have always wanted to make movies. We both very much in our own ways grew up, young kids wanting to do this, wanting to make films. And here we are having the opportunity to make a full-length documentary film. But here we were in the midst of the process, just like, I can't wait for this to be done. I can't wait for this to be over. Like, this sucks. It's a good learning lesson that something that I've wanted, here I was living it. And I had never felt more drained, tired, spread thin, and excited for it to be over. So it was a nice reminder for me to not put my goals on a pedestal because getting the very thing you want might not be as glamorous as you think it will. I mentioned earlier in the series this Viktor Frankl quote that kind of brought me solace. I very much tried to lean on this quote as much as I could. And the quote is, "What man needs is not a tensionless state, but rather the striving and struggling for some worthwhile goal. What he needs is not the discharge of tension at any cost, but the call of a potential meaning awaiting to be fulfilled by him." And this was meaningful for us. Oh man, congratulations, Cody.
Thanks, man. Congratulations to yourself.
I wish we could be in person celebrating, but the next time we hang out, we need to make sure we celebrate. So yeah, eventually we finished the film 7 months later, and then before we knew it, it was off in the world. This thing we had labored over for so long was now public. It almost felt like our Frankenstein child. There were so many imperfections we saw in it. There was a resentment we felt towards it. We didn't even know if the thing we were making was any good. We were so close to it. We had no objectivity to it. And here it was now out in the world being watched by thousands of people. The film is out. It's on YouTube. It's called Anti-Cult: Healing in a Mad World. The film takes an inside look into a healing community that's very much relying on like fringe practices. And it's kind of asking the question, is this a cult? What is a cult? And within that, like, what can we learn from fringe communities? The film touches on a lot of large and heavy topics. It talks about healing as a culture. It talks about healing on an individual level. And it's cool. I'm proud of it. I wanted someone who watched it to walk away having potentially a couple more tools that might be able to help them in their healing journey. And I wanted to create a film that ideally was entertaining and fun to watch. You know, we gave you an inside look of a modern day cult, and that's kind of interesting.
I don't blame anybody for thinking that this is some crazy culty ass shit that's going on.
Any kind of community, people just label it as a cult, and ultimately we judge what we don't understand.
If the Catholic Church 100 years ago saw this, they would have burnt everyone at the stake because they would have called it witchcraft.
Sometimes you just have this itch to check a box in your life. And for us, for Cody and I, one of those boxes was like, we wanted to make a feature-length film. It's almost this audacious ignorance that can pull you through the completion of that. And now having done it, I wouldn't just do that again next month or even this year. Like, I need some time to recover. And just like someone who climbs Mount Everest, I imagine they now have a better sense of what's required to climb Mount Everest in an excellent way. You need to train, you need to have the right people around you need to have the right equipment, you need to have the right conditions in order to accomplish that safely. I'm glad we did it, and I'm really glad it's over. This series, why I made it, it really gave me the opportunity to reflect on a heavy, large process and chapter of my life with levity, and kind of tie a bow on that chapter of my life and just kind of put it in the past and kind of recontextualize it. And it also dipped my toes back into creating for myself. I didn't make YouTube videos basically all year because I was focused on the film and some other work stuff. And so I hope this is like the ignition, the reignition to me creating playfully again, experimenting again. And yeah, I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be creating on YouTube again just for fun and seeing where that goes. Yeah, all that to say, if you've watched this series, this silly behind the scenes making a movie series, thank you. And if you've made it to the end of this video of just me chatting and talking, thank you. And I hope to see you here again very soon. That's it. Bye.